like to give you guys, when possible, a toy of the day. And you know me, I like to keep it something that's really beneficial, something that's cost effective, that we can use with our kids on the spectrum, that help them to reach their fullest potential. So here we have it. How's this for cost effective? It might even be something that you have around the house already. If you haven't, I want to encourage you to go out and get yourself a box of Crayola crayons. They come in all different sizes and all different colors. You can get that 64 crayon box, or you can get this simple box of 8, depending on where your child's skills are. And they make them even bigger than this. But I got to tell you that this, and depending on the time of year, this might cost you less than $1, right? There are some times of the year where you can get these for as cheap as 10 cents, and I usually like to stock up because there's nothing quite as reinforcing to me as a fresh box of crayons. But there are so many things that you can do with these little guys, and so many things that you can work on. Obviously, we can work on colors with this, right? We can work on a tripod grasp, and in fact, one of the tricks with a Crayola crayon is, I know I'm going to snap this, and we're going to hear the shout around the world, but a great thing to do with your crayons is to take them and break them into small pieces. You take the paper off of it, and the reason why we do this is because it forces the child to get a tripod grasp. Sometimes we'll see a child who will take a crayon and they'll turn it on its side because that's how they want to color, which is a way of doing large spaces quickly, but it's going to be not very precise when we want to work on staying in the lines. And if we want a child to be making the transition into being able to use a pen or a pencil, and of course we're going to start with pencils before we start with pens, I'm having difficulty peeling this crayon. It's a really good crayon. You gotta love Crayola. But we can help the child by making the crayons shorter, and we can get it even smaller than this. But if I want to color with this crayon, I can't hold it like this, and I'm gonna have a really hard time. I still, probably it's long enough that I can do this, but I'm gonna be forced to have to hold it like this. And sometimes we get them even smaller than this, right? So when it gets down to this, now my options of how I'm gonna hold this crayon get really limited. One of the keys here is make it reinforcing for the child. We had a lovely little, it looked like an embroidery thread case that we kept all the rainbow compartments, all the different colors. So all the blues were together, the greens were together. It was really pretty. And we made sure that we had things that my child really wanted to color when we did this, so that it was really reinforcing. That's when you break out, if your kid's into Dora the Explorer, you print out the printables online or get the coloring book. But something that they really want to do, and make sure that you reinforce this, but it really does force the tripod grasp. Now there's lots of other things that you can do with Crayola crayons, including melt them. That you can melt them into different shapes. You can roll them out. You can use cookie cutters to make shapes. So if you're looking for ways to make things that are tactile because you're working on shapes, melt your crayons. Take the old crayons and melt them down. You can make jewelry with these if you want to work on arts and crafts. There's a lot you can do with a box, a good old-fashioned box of Crayola crayons. And they're really cost effective. So that's our toy of the day. Yay, Crayola.